Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Daisy. If you have never been to my channel, I talk a little bit about everything, but if you are here is because this video is interesting to you of why I decided to become a foster mother after my 50s. I grew up here in New York City. A lot of the kids that I played with were foster care kids because my neighbors, a large majority of them were foster mothers, and my mom even took the steps to become a foster mother because at the time, for some reason, all my neighbors were foster mothers, and so I would play with all these kids, and like I was telling you, my mom even took the steps to become a foster mother, but she went to a couple of meetings, and she decided that at the time it wasn't for her. But for me, I never forgot about playing and growing up with some of these foster kids and how great they were, and how I would sit with them and we would talk about family, and how it would make me so sad because they would tell me about their mom or their dad and their family situation. And these are kids talking to kids. We were just talking to one another, and that stuck with me. Their stories stuck with me, and I never forgot those kids. And I have a sweet spot for foster children, and so I said one day I'm going to do that. And eventually the time came after I had my own children, and I said now is the time to do it. So I've been a foster mother for about almost 4 years now, and I can honestly say it is everything that I thought it was going to be. It is so a beautiful and a rewarding experience, but I want to explain to you the steps that I had to take to become a foster mother. This is here where I live. Where you live, it might be totally different. So I have notes here because I did not want to forget anything. And I don't want this video to be too long. That it might be a two-part. If you guys want it to be a two-part, then let me know below, but I hope to answer some of your questions. So let's begin. The first thing I did, I actually contacted the original agency that my mom originally had gone to when I was around, I must have been around 10 or 11 years old. That agency was still open, where all these kids that I used to play with, that's the agency that they all came from. And it was so refreshing, and I was so happy that I looked them up and they were still open. So I called them. I told them that I wanted to be a foster mother. They gave me a day to come in for orientation, and that's exactly what I did. I went in for orientation. They explained a little bit of how long the process was going to be, and I said yes, I wanted to do it. So the process itself, back when I did it, I had to go in person. It took me about a month to a month and a half, and that's only taking the classes to become certified and for them to open my home to receive children. So I began my training. There were about 15 of us. 15. It was all women. 15 of us, amazing women, and we all completed it. The training, when you're going in there for almost all day. I would go in the morning, and they would let us go around 2 or 3, but it depends on the training that you're getting for that day. Sometimes they would release us after lunch, which, by the way, they did supply lunch, and the lunches were fantastic. All right, so the trainings consisted of, we took trainings in policy and procedures, culture, special needs children, how to approach a parent who is unapproachable, LGBTQ, and dealing with teens, etc. The trainings are how to deal with all those types of situations. And I have to say that the trainings were fantastic. I mean, even if it will help you even with your own children. That they were awesome. They were awesome, and I recommend the training. The training alone was amazing. Now, while you're taking the training, you're gathering up all your paperwork together. The paperwork consists of physicals for everyone in your home. So I had to get a physical. My husband had to get a physical. Both my daughters had to get a physical. They all have to get physicals. So you have to set that aside. Then you have to, while you're taking the training, you have to get copies of your lease or rent receipt if you rent, or a mortgage statement if you have your own home, bills of your utilities, like gas, Con Edison over here, and is Con Edison for our gas. If you have a cable bill, whatever bill, so you get those bills together. Pay stubs showing them that you have some sort of income coming in, like if you receive disability, if you pay, so it would be your pay stubs or a W-2 or disability award letter, just showing them that you receive some sort of income, because they don't, a lot of people do it for the money, and I'm not going to talk about that in this video. A lot of people do it for the money, but you have to show them that you do in fact have money that you survive off of, so basically, even though you do get money for the child. But I'm pretty sure you guys know this. You have to supply copies of your ID, including social security cards. If you have a passport, you can use that. And that has to be for everyone. Now, everyone that's 18 and above have to get fingerprinted. So I had to get fingerprinted. My husband had to get fingerprinted. My girls did not have to get fingerprinted, but once my daughter turned 18, she immediately had to go get fingerprinted, because they want to make sure that everyone in your home, has had, doesn't have a record for abusing children or anything of that sort. They want to make sure that they're placing the children in a safe environment. And that's to be expected, right? Also, if you have pets, which I have pets. If you guys follow me, you do know I have pets. I have pets specifically for my dogs. I had to get them their rabies vaccination, their rabies shot. And over here, you also have to get them their license. So I would basically register them, pay a small fee. You would get the little tags, which is their license, and then you would just show them, give them a copy of the paperwork that you would get back with the license. Not a big deal. Also, if you have a car, you have to give them a copy of your insurance. This is all to let them know that, that you have insurance, that you're legit, that, that the children are going to be safe, basically. It does seem like a lot when they first started telling me about all these things that I needed to get together. It was a little overwhelming to me, I'm not gonna lie, gathering it up. But after I did it, because basically we all have all these IDs and birth certificates and all of that, and social security cards all together. So it's basically taking copies of all of this. I think the most I had to do was call up for my physical, which if you do one every year, you just get a copy. If you have kids and their physicals that they get for school every year, you call the doctor's office, they give you a copy. But you do have to submit a form to the doctors, your doctor, your children's doctor. It's a form that says that you are capable of taking care of these children. You're physically capable, you're mentally capable. It's a very, very simple form. The doctor fills it out. And you also have to give that back to them. All right. Like I was telling you, the classes, this is all going on while you're doing the classes. It's not a rush. They do not rush you, because remember, you're taking these classes almost in, like a month and a half, almost 2 months. So you're gathering this all up little by little. And even when you finish the classes, they really do not rush you. They really don't. And the classes, like I said, are so much fun. Being with the ladies were so much. I learned so much. Also, keep in mind that even when you finish with these trainings, you do have to do a yearly training, which here in New York, you have to do at least 12 hours a year. So now it's easy, because you do them via Zoom. They send you a link and you make up your 12 hours throughout the year. So each Zoom class is like maybe 3 hours. Also a lot of fun in the comfort of your own home. You can ask for more. And like I said, each class is 3 hours, and until you make up 12 hours that you need. It's more hours if you are a foster care mother to special needs children. So they require a little more hours of training. I was just registered for just regular kids, so it was 12 hours for me. Now, granted, there were 2 mandatory ones within those 12 hours a year that you have to do, which are the policy and procedures. You have to do that one every year. You also have to do the LGBTQ one. Those are 2 mandatory, and then the other ones you pick and choose according to what classes they're going to be offering you, which they offer so many. You pick whatever you want, but you make up your 12 hours for that year. Super easy. Seriously, super easy. Yeah. So I'm reading here. So once you complete that training, at almost towards the end, you get a folder with forms. It's a lot. It's a lot of forms. But the majority of the forms are basically you're checking things off and signing and dating them, and on certain forms you're just putting your initials. It's basically, the forms are like, do you have a fire extinguisher? Do you have smoke alarms? Like you're filling that out. How your house, do you own? Do you rent? Do you have the safety rails in the windows? Forms like that. If you own a car, you put down the car. Forms like that. Did you do the LGBTQ training? It's just forms like that. Now, the main form, which is almost towards the end of all that, it's like a book they give you, but it's like it's a lot of forms that you're filling out. One of the main forms towards the end is, what type of child are you willing to accept into your home? Me, I knew I did not want to deal with teens, so they have boxes, and you check off the ages that you want. You also have to check off, like for instance, can you accept the child that eats kosher? Can you accept? Are you willing to accept the child that has certain allergies? Or you're basically checking that off. Are you accepting a child that's a bedwetter, a fire starter? Yes, that is there. A child that it's LGBTQ, like everything you can think of is in that column. A teen, a pregnant teen, or stuff like that. So that's where you choose the type of foster mother you want to be, the type of what child you're willing to accept into your home, and how many. So I've always been a baby foster mother. So the children that I put down on the form were babies, and that's all I actually got, babies. And I am super happy that I was a foster mother to the babies, but that's what I wanted. You might want a toddler, or you might want a middle schooler, or maybe you can deal with a teenager. But that's on you. Only you know what you will be able to deal with and what you want to deal with. So also know that these forms that they give you have to fill them out every year, because even though you do all these classes and your home, you get certified and everything, you have to continue the certification every year. It is a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna lie, it is a pain in the butt, because all those forms that you initially filled out, you have to redo them every year, and on top of that, you have to resubmit physicals. That's the only thing you have to resubmit for you and your family members, are just all the physicals. And in reference to me, I also have to do it for my dogs. So I have to fill all of that out again every year, do the 12 hours every year, and do the physicals every year. But you get used to it. It becomes second nature after you do it a couple of times, a couple of years. You expect it. Now, once you do all of that and you finish with your orientation, you get your home safety visit. Somebody comes to your house and they inspect your house. They just want to see if you have the fire extinguishers, smoke alarms, all of the stuff that you should be having anyway in your home. They do press them to see that if they are working. My agency, they were nice enough, they were kind enough that they actually gave me new ones. They actually, even though mines were working, they upgraded me to newer fire alarms, and they actually gave me fire extinguishers as well. So at the time when I was doing it, they were actually giving out those things. Since then, a lot of things have changed, and there have been a lot of cutbacks. So they don't do that anymore. But I'm talking to you about when I first registered to become a foster mother. They gave me all of that stuff. So she came in, she did a safety visit. She comes in from the home finder department. So, and she sits down, very, very nice people. She sits down, she wants to see where, in my case, where the baby was going to sleep. She wanted to see my girl's room, if there was space for the baby, if everything was safe for the baby. I mean, they don't check. It was for a baby, but they have to do the standard checking the house to making sure. And if you have a little peeling paint, just get rid of that. Just making sure, like if things you would do for your own child or your niece or your nephew, things you would do if you had a child in your home. That's all they're coming to check for. That safety visit. And they're super sweet. The girl is still my friend to this day. Super sweet. So like I told you, they want to check where the child will sleep. I know from speaking with the other ladies that I took the orientation with, some of them were going to be foster mothers for teens. So in reference to having an older child, those children do need their own space. In reference to me, since I was going to foster a baby, the crib was allowed in my room. And the crib would be allowed in my room up until I believe the child is 2. That they still sleep sort of in in the crib, or and then it converts. So up until there too. So it was not a problem. I had more than enough space in my bedroom for the crib, so I didn't have to I didn't have to do too much. But I know that they needed a room. They needed their own bed. They needed their own closet or drawer where they could keep their clothes. So those are things that you have to keep in mind, depending on the age of the child that you're going to be fostering. All right. Once that's done, and they get your paperwork, everything goes through, you do the fingerprinting, and let me tell you something, it all goes pretty quickly, because they have so many children. They want to open up your house very quickly, so it goes very quickly. So once you do all of that, you get your license, you get certified, and your home is open to receive a child. I cannot tell you how happy I was when my home, I received my license in the mail, and they told me your home is open. We got you on the list now that you will receive a child. And I can't, after I did it, I was so happy and so scared at the same time, because I'm like, I can't believe I actually really did this. This is something that I had been thinking about it for so long, and always thinking about those children that I played with. And it was always close to my heart, something that I always was close to my heart, and that I knew I wanted to do. I had a calling for it. I needed to do it. And once I did it, I was so happy. My husband, I forgot to tell you guys, my husband, when I told him that I wanted to do this, he initially was a little hesitant, because he was like, it's not that I don't want to do it. It's that we're going to get attached to this child. The girls are going to get attached to this child. And they actually give you classes on that. And I'm not gonna lie, you do get attached to these children. But I will do a separate video if you guys want me to, but I'll probably do it anyway when I received my first foster baby. I can, if you want to know about that, please comment below. But when I first received that first call for my first foster baby, and everything that happened as soon as I got that call. So, like I said, it really does go fast. And that was it. That was really it. And like I said, it seems like a lot, and it seems like overwhelming. But if this is something that you have a calling for in your heart, I would say to do it. I did it after I turned 50. My youngest daughter at the time, I believe, was 10. My oldest was 10. She was like 13, like 14. And I did have to, I suggest that if you do have children, you do have a talk with them, because my little one did not understand what I was trying to explain to her about that this child was gonna come into the house. And so I had to explain to her in a way that she would understand that, yes, this child is here, but she's gonna be with us for, I didn't know how long, because you never know how long, but I told her she's gonna be with us for a little while, for a little while. My first foster, guys, that was an experience. But make sure you explain to them like what's happening, what you're doing. Let them in on the decision making. Let them know that their opinions count. And even though I had it in my heart that I wanted to do it, and I know I wanted to do it, I did talk to them about it. Everyone, my husband, my girls, everyone was so hesitant. My husband more, because he was more like, we're going to, we're all going to get attached to this child, and it's going to be It's going to be a heartache. And I knew going in that would happen, and that's a huge possibility when you foster, especially us, that we got the babies. We got the babies. It would, yeah. Um, like I said, if this is something that is in your heart for you to do it. Don't be afraid that they will as long as you give the agency everything that they're asking for paper wise, and they come and inspect your house, they will, you will become a foster parent. I don't know how strict it is in other states. Over here, I think they are strict in the sense of, why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they want to know the child that the people that they're putting the child in, the house that they're taking the child to. I'm trying not to edit this video, and I'm not going to edit that out because I do not like editing, and I'm going to keep the video just how it is. So bear with me. But the fingerprinting, you go in, they give you an appointment. It's somewhere by you. They did it like a couple of blocks from me, not too far from me. I went in, I was in and out. It was no waiting. They give you an appointment. It's not a big deal. Like I said, the paperwork, it's a lot of paperwork, but it's a lot of checking off boxes and signing, and checking off boxes and signing about your house, about the type of children you want to receive, putting down your car, your license, because they want to know that you have a license. If you have this car, you're going to be driving this child to their appointments, because yes, you are going to be driving them to the appointments and to the visits. But that is, I will talk about that in the other video of when I got my first placement. But I want to tell you that I'm so happy that I did it. And it was everything that I thought it would be. And I think that if this is something that is calling to you, do it. It is so satisfying when you can make a difference in a child's life, even if it's for a couple of hours. Sometimes you have them for a couple of days. It doesn't matter. These children are needing of so much love, and there are so many. And my agency, if you refer someone out, which I referred my sister, and she actually also she didn't do the training with me, but I referred her. She actually went through with the training, and she also got placed a child that she fell in love with, and she had that child a long time. But again, I will talk about that in the other video. But for each referral in my agency, they gave me $200. The need is great. They need foster parents. They need them so badly. There are so many children. And if you have the space, and they don't need a lot of space. They really don't. Especially if you want to take care of a baby. If you want to foster a baby, they don't require a lot of space. They don't require a lot, period. They do require a lot of time. That they do. You know how it is handling a baby. They wake up every couple of hours. Yes. I knew going in that would be a thing for me, because my kids were big. So I went through that. But it's so rewarding, and I'm so happy I did it. And if you got anything from this video, please let me know, even if it's just that it motivated you to do it, or maybe this is your sign to do it. You can also, mind you, you can also take breaks. I took over a year break. After my mom died, I could not foster, so I let the agency know to temporarily close my house, and they did that because I was not in a state of mind to give that child what it needed. When I was in grief, when I was in pain, it was not fair to the child. It wasn't going to be fair to the baby. I couldn't do it. So my house was closed for quite a bit, and they would call me periodically. How are you? Are you ready? You know, how are you doing? They're very, very kind. And I took all the time I needed. But I was mindful that I didn't want my house to be permanently closed. So I would periodically call them and say, listen, I'm still, I'm still dealing with pain, with my grief, but please do not close my home. I may not be able to do it now, but I knew eventually that I wanted to go back to do it, which eventually turned into now. I'm finally now ready to receive a child again in my home. So I had to do all that recertification again, which I just did. I submitted it, and as I was doing it, it occurred to me to make this video for you guys. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them. I hope my video answered any questions. Like I said, the classes are super fun, and they help not only in dealing with these children that are coming into your home, that are coming with traumas, because yes, they do come into your home with traumas, and they come into your home scared, and you have to learn how to deal with them and how to comfort them in a way that that you don't, they're scared, they don't know you, so it's shocking to them. So these classes do teach you, they teach you all of that, and they're amazing classes, even for your own children, how to deal with children in general. And they're a lot of fun. They make the classes so much fun. It's not tedious, like you're there, like you're in school and you're taking these notes. It's not like that at all. They was so much fun. My instructor, which was the supervisor of the agency that I'm with, he was amazing. He made it so joyful. He would make us laugh so much. He would always be joking and giving us examples, and it was really a lot of fun. So if nothing, go in for an orientation. They have many different agencies. Seek out one that you might be interested in. The agency that I originally, when I thought of going, starting this journey, I originally was gonna go into an agency that was solely for the immigrant children, the unaccompanied children crossing the border, and then I changed my mind, and I did not want to do that particular program. I did go to the orientation, but it was a little hard for me, and the requirements of how they wanted you to the back and forth with the children. Long story short, they wanted you not to really bond with these children that were already scared, knew no English, didn't know what was happening. I didn't like how they how can I say this? I wanted to help the children, but they made it hard. They made it hard. I would have to take the children every day. The agency was far from me. I'm talking like almost an hour, and I would have to take the children every day to that agency. It didn't matter the age of the child. I would have to take the child every day to that agency, which was a community center, and leave the child there from morning to the afternoon, pick up the child, bring the child home. It was basically eating and go to sleep. Um, it was as if they did not want you to bond with these children, and how could you bond with them when that was what your day-to-day was going to be? And that applied even to the babies. Like, you would have to take them there every day, and drop them off and then go and pick them up. So that was not something that I wanted to do. I wasn't prepared to do that. So then I looked up the agency that my mom originally had begun to take the classes with, but she didn't finish. The agency that all the kids that I grew up with came from. And I was really happy, like I said, that they were still open, and they were still there. And that's where I did everything with. And I'm so happy I did that route, because if I chose to be a foster mother, it was because I wanted to make a difference in a child's life. I wanted them to feel loved. I didn't want them to be scared. That was my goal. Give them a warm home. Make sure that they felt safe. That was it, and that was all in a nutshell. That is all. Just to hold them, to hug them, to put them to sleep. That's all they needed, and that's all I wanted to give them. That was all I wanted to do. And I'm so happy that I was able to do it, and that I did it. And when you start bonding with these children, it's just, and you see that these they're looking at you, and you're their world, you're all they have. It's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. I hope I motivated you. If this is a calling that you have, or if you're just looking at this video and you just happen to see of the title of, foster parenting after 50, you can do it. You can do it. You really can. It is so rewarding. And you're not too old. You are not too old. Love is not old. Love is not old. And you still have so much love to give, whether you're 50, 60, 70. The agency didn't have an age limit. And I was in there with women all ages. All ages. I wasn't the oldest one. And it doesn't matter. I even took the class that I took the orientation that I took. There was one lady there in a wheelchair. So don't think that you're not capable of taking care of a child. She was in there in a wheelchair. She was younger than me. And do you know that they gave her twins? She had twins, believe it or not. She had twins. And she did an excellent job with them. Excellent job. So just know that you can do it. Whatever situation you're in, you can do it. You can do it. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter. Age is just a number. You could do it. Trust me. I wish you could see the beautiful group of women that I was taking the training with. They all did it. Some of them were there, which I forgot to tell you guys about. It's called Kingship. Some of them were there taking the training to take in a family member. That one is called Kingship. to take in a family member. So some of them were there because they needed the training to become a foster parent to a niece, to a nephew. Another lady was there. She was doing that particular fostering for her stepdaughter. An amazing, amazing woman. So sweet. The women, so sweet. I still keep in contact with them to this day. Also, they have a foster parent meetup monthly. That you go there. They have picnics. You take your child to the picnics. They have raffles. They do a whole bunch of things that you go as a beautiful community and you take your kids. You know, I say your kids because when you're a foster mother, that's your kid. That's your kid. Period. When I had my foster baby, that was my baby. That was my baby. That was it. And they have these events in the summer and the picnics and movie days. They honor you. They do a banquet to honor, at least in my agency, a beautiful banquet to honor the foster mothers. If you're in need of a crib, a stroller, whatever, again, I can touch on that on my second video. If you found value in this video, I would really appreciate if you would comment, if you would give me a like, if you would subscribe. That would even help me. I am continuing to help my channel. That would continue to help my channel grow. I hope I don't sound like I'm rambling. I'm trying really hard not to edit this video because it was just so much that I wanted to get to you guys with my experience. And just know that you can do this. If this is your calling, you will love it. If for nothing else, go to the orientation and you see if this is something that you want to do. But only you know if this is something that's calling to your heart, like it did to mine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please, please, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Comment, let me know if it motivated you. Let me know if you have any questions. If you do have questions, I will try to note them down and answer them in the next video of when I got my first foster baby, and hopefully answer it there. So guys, have a very blessed day, and I hope that this inspires you, that you can do it. You can do anything you set your heart on. You can do it. And just know, there's so many kids out there that all they need is love. All they need is love and a little bit of patience. And you can do it. You can be the person to make that difference. So have a very blessed day, guys. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.